Hi, this is Sherry at Smoky Mountain Maker. Today we're going to be making this bow with two different colored ribbons. And if you'd like to learn how, come along with me to my craft room. Hi, this is Sherry and we're back in my craft room. And what we're going to make today is this bow. I showed you how to make this wreath on another video, deco mesh wreath, and it's on my YouTube channel, and it's also on my website, smokymountainmaker.com. And when I made the wreath, I just put in the little picks here and the little camper. Isn't that cute? So it wasn't enough. I wasn't really happy with it. It needed a little bit extra. So I went to the Dollar Tree and got these cheap ornaments and put those on there. And the way that I put those on there was I actually took this and put it through the little holder on the top of the, let's see if you can see this one. See, on the top of the ornament, and just ended up tying it onto my wreath form. So you can catch the video for that on my website, or like I said, on YouTube. But what I wanted to show you today is how to make this little bow. I thought it really needed a bow to go with it, and I think that really makes it more complete. What I have here, and I've already opened them up, is 2.5 inch by 9 feet ribbon. I got these at the Dollar Tree, and so we're going to put these together. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my ribbon off of here and find my end, and I'm going to take this ribbon off. What really got me started doing the bows was I had a bunch of wreaths that I put outside, and those had actually gotten faded. You know how those block bows that you buy for a couple of dollars, they've gotten faded over the years. The wreaths still look good, so I just wanted to replace the bows, and I had some ribbon had been laying around the house for a while, so I decided I was just going to practice making bows. And so after 8 bows, I got fairly good on it. Not perfect, but fairly good. So what you want to do is, I'm going to lay these two on top of each other. Now if you flip these over, you can see this has the white on the back and this has no pattern at all. So if you get something like this that has pattern on one side only, then this is the trick that you have to do. So we're going to start with a little bit of just a little loop right there, and the reason for that is just to kind of hide whenever you put your we're going to use this zip tie, and we're going to use a chenille stick. You don't have to have the zip ties. You do need something though to tie this together when you get done. So we're going to scrunch these together. Okay, now see how the bottom is coming up right here? So what we're going to do is, where we've scrunched those, we're going to twist it. See how I've twisted it? Okay, so then we're going to make a loop, and I like my loop about like that for the wreaths, and that's going to be about, so I can just like kind of do my hands like that. But if you want to know, from the center out, it's about a little over, it's about 5.5 inches from the center. So then we're going to come back around here. Now see how that's upside down again. So you're going to twist, and we're going to get this one. I'm straightening out my ribbon, and we're coming back again. So I just kind of do my hand out, kind of figure out where we're at, and you can eyeball it too, but if you're real OCD, then you can just use your ruler. Right, so we're going to twist again. Now by doubling our ribbon, we're actually getting 2-for-1 loops. So we're going to come back out here. You can measure your loops like that, make sure that they're about the same size. We're coming back in here, we're pinching, straightening out my ribbon down on the floor. Getting glitter everywhere, but that's okay, that's part of Christmas, right? Now you can see that's coming loose a little bit. We're just going to tuck that back down in there. We're going to flip it again. And we don't want to get bigger than the other one. Not in this particular ribbon. So that's about the same. I've got it in this other finger, kind of helped me to get it twisted there because it's starting to slide on itself. So we've got our ends up again. Now I know that that's not perfect there, but we're going to straighten that up, okay? So, checking out our loops. That's pretty good. And let's see how much tail we've got left. I think we can do one more loop. Alright, so got this up again. We're coming back to our middle, and we're going to pinch that together. Okay, so let's check this loop, and make sure that you're pulling from your ribbon whenever you pull these. Make sure you're pulling from your ribbon. If you need more length, pull here. Don't pull here, or that's just going to shorten your other side. So make sure you're pulling right here. Okay, so now we're out to this, and I'm going to gather that all together and then pinch it again. And I released it from in between here and pinched it all in one thing. Now we're going to twist one more time. Okay, so now we're dealing with these tails, and I'm just pulling the tails out, and I'm coming back to the bottom. Okay, to the bottom. Here we go. And we're going to pinch this right here. Okay, so now if your bows, as long as they're here together, if this is a little bit shorter than this, which it looks like it is where I've got a hold of it, then you're just going to slide your hand down a little bit, see? And that brings it back up to the middle. So it's probably just slid down as I've been holding it. Alright, see, now sometimes this will come up. Just make sure you just tuck it back down in there. So just get everything scrunched together. Okay, and because we have this wire, it's going to really help. Now what you can do is actually put one of these through here, or you can use your chenille stem, either one. If you do this, this will really tighten down and it won't slide once you get it where you want it. So we're feeding that through there. Okay, now once you tighten this down, if you really crank it down, then it's not going to go nowhere. So you better get your bow fixed before you do that final tug. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go snug. See, I can still move my ribbon. See how that's moving right there? I can still move my ribbon, and this is slid out. So we're just going to tuck that up, and I've got room to stick that back under there. So that's not a big deal. Slide that back in there. Okay, so now that everything looks pretty centered, and like I said, if you really want to make sure, you can get your ruler out, and that's about 5.5 once you straighten it out. A little over 5 there, and it's about 5 there. So yeah, we're pretty close to the middle. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, once I make sure everything is in there, I'm going to crank this down. And once you get that cranked down really good, that's not, well, that is sliding. Didn't slide on me the other day. I wanted it to slide and it wouldn't. Is it good? Did I do my thing backwards? Ah, that's what's happened. Okay, I've actually didn't go the right way. I don't know if you have messed with ties, but they have these little ridges. See those little ridges? And I did mine backwards. That's why it was sliding out. So your ridges, I believe, go underneath. And you'll actually hear them whenever you get into this. Yeah, hear that? And you can tell that that's tightening up. That's not going to slide now. It's not going to slide back out. So making sure again that everything, because you can see I'm handling this quite a bit just because I messed up there. But if I mess up, then you learn, okay? That's the way I look at it. And if I mess up, I learn. It's all a learning process. Alright, so I've got everything. Looks like it's pretty much centered. My bows are pretty much the same size. This one, yeah, good. Okay, and it's not going to be perfect, but that's going to be okay. Let's see, let me turn my thing around here. So that's about 5, and that's a little over 5. So let's just move it right about in there. If you're like really particular. So that's about 5, and that's about 5. So that's good. All right. So now before you crank it down, you can move it a little bit. See how we can still scoot it a little bit? But I'm going to get it really cranked down. All right. And you're not moving that. See, I'm tugging pretty hard, and that's not going nowhere. All right. So now what we're going to do is take these tails, and one of them's just a little bit longer than the other, and that's okay. We're going to find the end of it. So here's the middle, I'm sorry, not the end, the middle. We're going to make ends out of it. We're going to fold it, and we're going to put a dovetail on it. So you want to cut higher in the middle, so more in the middle, and go down towards the end. Angle down towards the end, just like that. Don't use your good scissors, because that's got metal in it, and you don't want to ruin your good fabric scissors. So fabric scissors need to stay for fabric. All right. We're going to do the same thing with this side. Find our middle, fold it in half, go from the center or the folded edge, cut a little higher, and go down towards the corner. Okay? So we've got our nice little dovetails. See, that makes it look more professional. Alrighty. So now, if this little bit right here, like I said, I've got that down really good, so if that little bit right there bugs you, come in pretty close. I wouldn't go right up against my wire there, or my zip tie, but I would go pretty close. So we'll just get rid of that. That's not hanging out there. Now, this little piece right here, you want to take, and I like to just snip it with my wire cutters. I just got some small wire cutters at the store, so I can cut my wires and things like that, picks, anything like that I want to do. All right, so like I said, this is just decoration. See how that hides this little thing here. So you're going to fluff that out, and you're just going to start pulling these apart. And because they have the wire in it, it makes it really easy. The more loops, the fuller your bow is going to be. So if you had run out of ribbon and you wanted a more fuller bow, then you would just start with another piece and start stacking. Okay, so I think I've got them all pulled apart. Okay, and see how pretty that is? Really easy to do. And you just keep fluffing it. Now, it might not look like a whole lot there by itself, which I think it looks pretty good, but you just keep separating these. And I want to bring some of this gold up to the front, and see how that kind of folded a little bit, but because it's the wire, we're just unfolding it and bringing it out here where you want it. Okay, get this one unfolded. There we go. So it just takes a few minutes to just kind of fool with them. Now, and we've got another pretty bow. I want to pull this. Now, see, this is behind. So instead of trying to twist it around through here, I'm just going to go inside and pull it out this way, because I wanted a little bit more of that gold to show. So we're just going to pull that out and fluff it. That's the wonderful thing about this wire stuff, is you can just fluff to your heart's content till it gets to where you like it. So we're going to, again, we're pulling this down here where it's going to cover that little piece of zip tie that we have left. Okay? Isn't that pretty? And it's going to really look better when you get it on whatever you want to put it on. Okay, so let me get the wreath back up here, and we'll go to this side that doesn't have anything on it. And I'll just wanted to show you how pretty that is. Look at that. It looks really pretty on there. And just putting it on the wreath really makes a difference to how it looks. And then you can take these tails, once you get it on whatever you want to, and you can bend them a little bit. Put them over to where you want them. And if you want them to hang free, you can, or if you want them attached onto your wreath, you can attach them, just get you a little something that would hide. So if you're going to attach them, you might definitely want to get something that would match. Or if you're doing a wreath that has branches on it, then you can take a branch and you can just kind of wrap it around that a little bit, and that'll put it in place. So there we go. There's our new bow. I just want to show you how easy that is to make. And you can dress up your house or your projects. I've got a lamp, I think that or not a lamp, a lantern that I believe I'm going to put this on. So I think that's going to be really pretty. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. And what we're going to do to put it on something is just go ahead and use our little stick, go through the middle. See, we went up under this piece right here and went under that, so we can keep everything hid. And we'll just put our chenille stick right here and twist it a couple of times. And now fluff it out again. So once you get it on your project, you're just going to fluff it back out again. So I'm going to put the video on pause, and I'm going to go get that little lantern that I'm going to put it on. So hold on a second. Okay, I've got my lantern here, and we're going to use our little chenille stem that we put on here to tie this on with. Now this particular lantern has some holes here in the top, so we could go through those and tie it on. We'd like to have it in the front, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to just tie it on right here. Okay, and we'll fluff it up. And it's going to look better once I stand it up, but I wanted y'all to see what I'm doing. Okay. So we're going to fluff this up here a little bit. See how you don't see that middle, because we've got these little pieces right here hiding that. All right, and looks pretty good. Now you can, if you want to, you can take and put you a pick in here. I'm going to try to thread this one through. Again, this is just to kind of give you an idea of what you can do. Okay, and that helps a little bit there. And I'm just going to bend that for right now out of my way. All right, and then we'll come down and we'll make sure to turn these around the way that they need to go. My little tails. And you can just pull with them and make them cascade down your lantern. So we're going to do that. All right, so we're going to do both of them. And I've got this little votive that I made. You can also find this video on the web, on YouTube. If you've not seen it, I'm going to put inside here this votive. I just put a little votive candle in here like this and turn it on, and that's what we're going to put inside. And I'm so glad you came by and spent a little time with me today, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.